What's going on, fellas? This is Sir Studmuffin, leader of Affliction, and today we have a new video. I'm actually going to be doing an account review. So Nehemiarr asked me to give him his or send him a file for the optimizer, but I'm gonna one up that. I'm actually going to give him a little account review to show you kind of I believe he's kind of a newer player, a newer game player, and show you some of what I see on his account, maybe some of the teams I might use. I'm not going to do any attacks or anything like that, but if that's something y'all want to see in the future, I'll definitely make that. Ooh, let me lock this play. That's an auto lock right there. Um, so let's get into it. So first things first, let's take a brief look at his monsters, and then we're gonna look at his team. So, okay, Soha, Vampire. All right, I'm guessing that's a farmer. Speed, attack. Okay. All right, Beth, attack, crit damage, attack. Ooh, that's actually broken set completely. All right. Another broken set on Galleon. Okay. Speed, defense, HP. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is he's not. I know he's going to change around a lot of his runes. He hasn't really done this optimizer. Okay. All right. That's a good Sigmaris. Let's see, what is that on? Man, a lot of broken sets. So, if I had to guess, the reason he's got so many broken sets is because he used the optimizer, but instead of clicking no broken sets, he selected broken sets. So what the optimizer is going to do is basically go and just choose some of his like craziest runes and just put them on monsters. That's not really what you want to do. When you do broken sets, you only want one broken set. So it looks like he has a decent inventory. Oh, that's a pretty good. That's not bad. He just needs to rerun a lot of things. Plus 16. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just kind of. Rochi's not really good. Just soon. Yeah. So I see a lot of plus 15 runes, or plus 5-star runes, excuse me. It's a pretty good Lucian right there. I'm trying to think. 89, 148. So that's 2,500 attack with 1.48. So 1.5 of 2,500 is going to be 1250, 37. No, I'm off. So if I had to guess, it's probably going to do like 3,500 to 4,000 attack or damage on that. So probably like 7 or 8k cards. I'm not sure though. Okay. All right. Eremos on Swift. Bella on Swift 2. Okay. Seagay, that's a good monster. Ooh. Alright, so like I said, guys, bear in mind he is going to make a lot of changes. He's got a lot of 5-stars and Croa, interesting, Joltan. Okay. So today I'm not trying to rush his account or anything like that, but I am going to give him some direction on what to look into. So let's get into it by looking at where his GB10 team is at. Okay, so he's got a very basic team. He's got Pheromos. He's got Bella. He's got Lucian. He's got Shannon. He's got Bernard. So let's just move it like this, and let's just quickly run a team like this and see what he looks like. So when you're first coming up in Giants, usually what you're going to do is make a GB10 team with Amon instead of the Lucian. So you're going to use something like the Veramos, Bernard, Bella, and Shan. So basically his team. Now, there's multiple ways that people progress, but the ways that I can tell that are standard that are like free to play. Now, also keep in mind you gotta know like what mons can you use and stuff like that. So I'm gonna hopefully be making some account reviews, be making some, different, hopefully gameplays, show you different vantage points, and just show you what other people do. No, okay, good. Just making sure that's a quick tip. Oh, we are getting Instagram feeds. That's awesome. Hopefully that won't go too much, but anyhow, let's see here. Okay, so it's definitely a little bit slower. Let's keep watching though. Now, the thing with his PvE, PvP progression is that he doesn't have a whole lot of teams in PvE, so hopefully this video won't be too long, but I wanted to show you kind of where he was at, and then show you some of the changes I might make. Today's probably going to be a longer video, but it's mainly for him, and I can leave the time cards, or what do you call them? Time. I can leave basically the times of what I look um, in the comment or in the description, and then you can fast forward to whatever you want to see. Okay, so let's keep watching. Alright, so it's looking pretty steady though, that's good. That's very good. So he's kind of going heavy on the let's see. Alright. So let's see where his times are at. 231 time, okay. Not bad for this kind of Giants team. Now, obviously he's going to be able to make some changes. Okay, let's look at this again. So Vero, 213 speed, that's plenty. Really, you need to get Veramos on Violent. Bella, same thing. You don't need that much speed. Okay. Alright, that's really good tank for interesting. Plus 1800. That's very interesting what he did there. Okay. So, alright, give him Shannon some love. Let me look at the accuracies. 49, 52, and 43. Okay. Those are average. Alright. Bernard definitely can have more speed. Lucian's pretty fat though, which is good. I'm trying to think. There's not really any other. Okay. So let me look at his monsters and see if there are any monsters I would suggest in replacement. Let's see here. So a lot of the times people will run sort of, alright, this Tark he's not going to be using at all. This Orochi. So, alright, quick monster reviews for things that he's probably not going to be using and where they could be used. Soha is only Feynman farming. Beth, PvP monster. Could, yeah, just PvP. I don't really see her in GB10, but maybe. Galleon is, I mean, everyone knows Galleon. Ariel's a good PvP slash in general healer. You have another good healer with Praha. Alicia's a very good nuker. I just don't think his Alicia does enough damage. Let's look at some rune sets. Okay, one thing I would suggest is try when. Okay, so you have a lot of runes. These are good. A lot of these are good early game runes. Keep all your +6 runes, and this is a trash rune. You don't really need to keep that, but like keeps. Let's see. Yeah, it's another trash. You don't really need that. Anything with +3, I'd probably avoid if it's blue. I mean, don't just keep everything. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean you're keeping a lot. but I can understand because you're trying to farm it a lot. If you're early game, one thing you can keep in mind is you can run critical rate instead of crit damage slot 4 because you might not have the rune quality for it. Ooh, that's a very good rune. But Alicia's a very good nuker, AoE nuker. Probably PvP. I don't think she'd have the tank for PvE. So here's your Varad. Okay, Varad. You could try Varad in PV or in the GB10. Um, Sig is going to be very good now. He needs to have more crit rate and be heavy on the crit damage. So, I mean, he's a definite PvE in GB10 or DB10. I actually use him in Mon. Tark you're never going to use. Spectra is only TOA. Or you could also use Spectra in GB10, or DB10, but you have a verse. I want to use him. Perna's going to be PvP only. Beretta's TOA. Orochi, you're not going to use that much. Jasoon, PV, just good PvP healers. You got a lot of good healers, so that's good. You can make some bruiser teams for PvP eventually. Okay. Lucian, great monster all around. Everyone knows who he is. Mav, TOA. Amin, probably not going to use them much. Bella and Vermos are good PvE monsters. Basalt, TOA. Sige, PvP. Mantura, TOA. Okay, Megan. Alright. So, let me see. One team you could try out if you want to try and get a faster team. So, we'll run the Vermos, you need that. You could run Ariel, and you could run Galleon. Where is he? I mean, keep in mind that your team is obviously going to be super slow, but I'm trying to think here. Or you could run Varad. Try something like this. You'd want, let's see. So you could run something like this. I mean, you're going to want to change your runes around a lot, but just run a team and see what it looks like. I'm only going to do this one time though, but just show you a difference. So thought process going into this, you can see you have Ariel, which is a very good, it's going to be a very good healer. So you don't really need more than one healer for giants. So you have your Varad for CC and kind of your damage. Okay. Your Galleon is there for AoE defense break. One thing though with the boss is that he has that attack bar, or the attack, what is it? Attack buff, excuse me, from one of the crystals. So let's see here. No, I mean this is just an example of a modification change. You're gonna have to play with your teams and see what works best for you. You might find that your team can't survive because you don't have the Shannon, so you might need to do that and just really play with your teams and figure out what's going to be the best. You're going to want to stay away from fire, obviously, and stick with more PvE type monsters. Varad is like a TOA or just CC in general, but yeah, see, the thing with Varad is that you're like not hitting hard at all with his skill 1. So, I mean, this is probably going to be a very slow run. I mean, your monsters could depend. Now, one question a lot of people ask me or ask in general is, well, so what do I get into next? What's going to be the next phase for me? That's going to depend on the player. It's going to depend on the monsters. So hopefully I'm going to give more of a in-depth look at a different player's account today, but also give an idea of, well, what's the direction that you can go? What steps you need to take, and what mistakes have you made, and what things have you done well at? What monsters do you have? What can you play with? One thing I noticed on this account is this account has a lot of healers. You don't really need this many healers. I see a lot of PvP monsters. Um, you could just have really good account luck, but it also means that you might have summoned a lot more than you really needed to. So let's see here. Okay. So here you go. He survives the nuke. There goes the heals down. Now on this team, you're really going heavy on. You're kind of just relying on the Veramos, all these debuffs. So one of the things that could be an issue here is if this Varad keeps changing the attack bar of the boss. But let's see, the boss should die from dots. Yep, here we go. What's his time going to be at? Let's see. How much slower is it? It's going to be very consistent, though. 308, so about 30 seconds. You might want to stick with your Lucian because you're giving him some more love, but yeah, I would not keep that. Now, I mean, the other thing you have to keep in mind is early game versus late game. So I'd say this is definitely an early game account. But alright, so that's his giants. Let's look at his dragons. Necro, you're not going to want to touch. Okay. Dragons. Alright, that's not a DB10 team at all. You're going to want a... You're going to want to run your Verd. You're going to want Sig. Now, the thing I really question, though, is his rune quality. You might not have the rune quality for this, but... Let's see here. So if he doesn't have the rune quality for a face team, we can run something like this. And then, what else could I run? He's got that. He's got that. Just run a Megan. I mean, rune quality on this isn't the greatest, but I'm trying to think. Alright, let's try this. See if we can't get him a DB10 team at all. We're going to want to go, let's go right boss. Alrighty, so the notion here with this team is this is kind of a standard composition. The one thing this team that he has here right now lacking is you don't have the defense break. So you could bring a defense break. The classic comp is not going to involve aerial, but aerial is going to have more heal, which is going to make your team more consistent. Let's see how consistent it actually is with how your team is right now. Okay. Alright, good. So far, not so far good. Megan is just kind of, this is a classic DB10 face team, actually. But we're going to be using him on the right boss because he's just getting into dragons. And when you do that, that's what you want to do. Your Vermo should have plenty of speed for the debuffs. Ooh, we're getting low there with Verd. Oh, Verd wiped. Okay. So your Verd's going to need some more. Okay. Going to need some more HP. We could try and run the HP speed lead. You know, you might get away with this, but let's just stop this for a sec. And run that. Trying to think. Megan's going to give you good defense buff, although your Megan right now is probably not ruined all that great. Okay, she's ruined okay. Yeah, let's try this. So let's just see what this looks like. And like I said, he doesn't have a whole lot of GB10 teams, so he's not going to have to, or he doesn't have a whole lot of PvE progression. So where do you go after this? You start with your DB10, okay? Then you're going to move to, sorry, GB10, I don't know if I said DB10, GB10 and then DB10, okay? And after your DB10, you're going to want to start with a right boss team because your Vermos and your Bella are going to be on Swift, more than likely, from your GB10. I think he has a rune quality, though, for GB10 actually. Or DB10. I think he just needs to farm it some more. So go right boss. It's going to be slow farming. Um, you know, what you want to farm though is going to depend on kind of what you're looking for and what you're looking to accomplish. But in PvP progression, I think you can definitely move towards a little bit of a faster Giants team. And oh, yeah, so definitely need to put some more love into your team. Your Veramos is dying. The real thing is the just sort of the damage. Man, this stage is tough. So, all right, let's take Megan out. Let's try one more comp with Bella, and we're gonna bring two healers, and we're gonna go right boss, and we're gonna see what this looks like. I probably should invert speed lead, but okay. All right, so let's see. I mean, keep in mind though, the runes he has on right now aren't even his best. You're definitely one thing that I always like to do. Make sure you keep your good runes. Make sure you try and see. Can you upgrade the runes? You don't really want to just hold to the optimizer every time because you might have a really viable rune to look at. Um, So yeah, so after you do your DB10 R boss team, then you're gonna move to DB10 face team. Now a lot of people try and like skip right to the face team, but you can't do that without your Veramos and your Bella on Violent. You gotta have enough Violent in HP. You need to have 55% accuracy for DB10 on Bella and Veramos. You need to have 45% on any of your GB10 or any PvE content in general for any of the monsters you're trying to land debuffs on. Those are typically going to be your support monsters though. So yeah. Okay, let's keep watching. Alright, so good. We got past... This is probably going to be a very slow time, but at least he got past the first mini boss. Alright. This is just kind of an entry DB10 team. And like I said, when you farm some DB10, it's going to make your... then you're going to be able to go more towards a face team. But you can't do that without Violent. Ideal stats. So I believe the Veramos stats now are like, so mine is like 180, I want to say, for speed on both Vero and Bella, but I think that's the minimum requirements you need. I told you the accuracy requirements already. For HP, I think you just need 20k on both, and you should be able to stay alive. Keep in mind though that the rune requirements are also going to depend on your damage. So for Verd, you just need 100% crit rate, and then just keep him alive. You want to make Verd ideally your slowest monster. That's going to be easier for you to rune. But you're not going to have to worry about that too much right now because you're not really going to run a face team unless you find that the classic comp with Verd's speed lead is actually better for you. But okay. Now also keep in mind this is with Sig HP lead. You could go faster with this team, our boss. Okay, there you go, 317. That's definitely manageable. It's not a bad first R boss team. You could even speed it up if Verd can go on speed lead. But alright, that's not too bad. Alright, now TOA N is the next place you're going to look at. So let's look at your TOA N team. Okay, you're going to have a very good TOA N team. Now, with this, if all right, Mantura. Okay. All right. So you got all right. So you got those. Those are very good. Basalt's another good. Yeah, your basalt's really slow though. Mav. Let's try and run no Mav, and let's do. One thing I don't see you having though is cleanse. So try that. Let's just test out. I'm not going to test out too much. I mean, TOA is going to depend on. That's going to be a lot of patience. But after you finish your DB10, people usually try and finish TOA hard then. After that, they usually try and finish uh, really R4. After they finish R4, they're going to look more towards potentially Necro or R5. That kind of depends. Um, and then after that, and that's Necro B10. Let's see. After that, you're going to look into that's well that when you're at that stage, you're what I consider mid game when you can clear that. Then people start looking at speeding. You know, along the way, you got to think about, well, when can I speed up teams and stuff like that. Um, Speed DB10 is always a classic topic. 9 times out of 10, you can speed up your teams just by changing the runes on your teams, changing maybe the rune quality. Um, what other stuff? You might be lazy, and that's why. Let me see. You might just not be reading this, but so far it looks like you have really good. Okay. I see. Okay, so the boss stage is what's killing you. You're probably gonna want to. I don't think you're gonna normally be able to auto here, but keep in mind that you do have a Veramos, and Veramos is gonna be able to help with the dots. You have a very good TOA team, though. I wouldn't touch anything else for TOA. I would just keep it with this because Veramos is gonna be able to help with dots, but also gonna be able to help with the stuns. So there you go. I don't know if you were struggling on that stage, but cleared that for you. Um, okay. Let's look at his PvP mons real quick. Let's look at his defense. Okay, running a troll defense, but alright, if I were to make a defense for you, and I'm making an actual defense, I'm going to run something like Veramos, Bella, because you have the most weight into that. Um, then I'm going to run a damage dealer with Perna. And then I'm going to run so you have Cleanser with a healer, a Perna. After this, you can run multiple different things. You can run something like extra AoE kind of CC with your Varad. You can run another healer. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. But if you're trying to make a more serious team, I'd probably run Varad, just based on sort of your PvP monsters. But alright, I'll revert back to your troll. Where's your troll? I don't even remember what it is. So I'll just just put up like a troll Bernard or something. Okay. Looking at your swords, let's see if I can do any arena attacks on your team or with your teams. Okay, this is interesting. I would switch though to this. Go. Instead, use Veramos. Where is he? Veramos. Run Veramos and run Bella. Definitely, probably going to have more luck there. Let's see. This is going to be, I'll just show you what it looks like though. Let's just auto it. So there you go. Boom. Boom. CC. You're probably going to want your Veramos to have, or your Varad to have more speed though if you're going to use him in this capacity. Alright, let me see. Can I find like a decent... Or have you been hit by anyone decent? Let's see. That's a troll. Okay, this is gonna be risky. Let me see here. Alright, so really what you're gonna try and just do here is tank him out. And let's see if that pays off. I don't know, this might be too hard of a target though. Yeah, your Vermos died. Okay. You're just farming. Oh, boom. There you go. Okay. Let's try and hit him. Alright, see if I CC. Yes. Alright, we just don't want this. Come on, hit hard. Nice, good damage. Alright. Boom. Yeah, probably gonna want the Perna to be your slower one and have your Rad faster if you're trying to get more into PvP. Keep in mind when you're going up into PvP, like at your stage, you can probably just honestly rock with this comp and not change much after that. Let's see here. There you go. So you can just run something like that, and you can run that for a while and just run one comp. You run usually like early game, you're gonna run the same as your offense as you would on your defense if you're going like an actual serious defense. Okay, Guild Wars. I'm not gonna do. Oh, you already done your attacks anyways, so I don't really know. All right, Guild Wars. Some teams you can run: Vermos, Bella, Verd. That's always a classic. Um, you can run something like Perna with maybe one of your healers, so like Praha or Ariel, and then you can run. What else would I run after that? I mean, you could run Varad. It's just going to be kind of slow. You're not going to have a lot of damage, but I would probably stick to those two teams for now. Siege is going to be difficult, obviously, because you're going to have to play with a lot, but I mean, that's kind of what it'd look like. Future outlook and some mons to sort of end this video off. So, you got a lot of good monsters. Vermos and Bell, you're going to want to. So, what I would focus on your DB10 actually. You can speed up your GB10 with some of the suggestions I had, but I wouldn't go past the Lucian comp. The only other way you're going to speed that up with Lucian, Vero, Bella, Bernard is instead of Shannon, do Megan. Past that, I don't really know if I would suggest running 2 damage dealers right now, but if you really want to try it and it works, you can. You could run like Sig damage and maybe go better healer, but I mean, that's kind of as far as I'd go with GB10 for now. I would just farm some DB10 and get some violent runes. Definitely don't put your monsters on all these broken sets. Like run a Fatal Sig. PvP wise, so alright, so focus on DB10. Focus on getting violent runes. You're not going to want to do anything with your Tark, your Orochi, your Almond. Now, PvP wise, you do have the potential for YOLO comps. I don't know how much quality, how much you're really going to care, but if you're going to run something a YOLO comp, I'd run Alicia with Sige, Galleon, and a Bernard. You're going to want to put more speed on your Bernard. Bernard, really, early game should have your fastest rune set. As I've also said, you have a lot of really good PvP healers like Ariel and Praha. You got a good healer in Bella. You got a good healer in Trisoon. You have a very good PvP monster with Perna. I mean, if you want to show some PvP love, show some love in your Perna. Show some love in Varad, which you can also use in TOA. But Perna is a monster you can only use in PvP. Some 5 stars to look at. would not really worry about like 5-starring for R4 really. I mean, really try and slow down your 5 stars, but oh, I see you got a dupe. Dang. Rip. Just hold on to her for now. Ooh, past that, I mean, the only other thing I could see you 5-star right now was I don't really see you going into making R4 teams yet, but if you want to look at R4 teams, Colleen's going to be a 5-star or 6-star that. You're going to want. Oh, I forgot you have Chloe. You could run Chloe teams as well right now with instead of Bernard, you can run like Chloe with Galleon. I do that a lot, and run like Alicia and Sige, something like that, and go Alicia attack lead. It's another potential arena kind of YOLO comp. You can also use variants of that in Guild Wars. Let's see here. You have Joltan. So really, if you're trying to focus a little on PvP, you want to put a little more love into PvP. Um, you can make your classic Guild War comp that you're going to use a lot, but I mean, keep in mind you really want to slow down this sort of progression. One thing that I've seen a lot of players do is they'll go, this month I'm going to go into PvP, this month I'm going to go into PvE. Um, you can run like Theo. If you're going PvP, I'd put some focus into like Theo, and I saw a commune you had. If you want to focus on PvE, the only next stage you're going to go at is R4. So you're going to use Colleen, you're going to use Darian, Colleen, Darian. Healer is going to probably be Ariel. Colleen, Darian, Ariel. You could run Praha as a speed lead. That's another one. So your front line though is going to be like Ariel and Darian front line with your cleanser. Ooh, cleanser probably going to use Kona. So you have your cleanser. Okay, damage dealer. I don't think you really are going to have a damage dealer right now. Usually people don't run like one damage dealer anyways. Off the bat, they kind of just go super slow, tanky. Um, so if you're trying to like get into R4, you could run no damage dealer and basically go and just go sustain. I don't know how many people want to play with you like at the beginning like that, but you can run something like Darian with Ariel. God, I'm sorry for all these Instagram. I just made an Instagram post, so Darian with Ariel, front line with Kona, Colleen, Praha, and well, no, I wouldn't do Shaolin yet. Shaolin is going to be a good damage dealer, but that's only when you can do MB10, and that's when you're speeding up R5. Command, though, is going to be a good PvP monster for you for Guild Wars. Let me see. Is there any other advice? Brand's not a bad monster to build for you for like maybe TOA. Sometimes you'll see him in R or not R. Well, you could see Brand in R4. That's another possibility. But if you're trying to figure out a damage dealer for R4, you can probably go as simple as Theo. It's not necessarily perfect, but it'll give you a little bit of damage. You're gonna want some like HP though, but if you're gonna put love in him, you might as well. So I know that was a really long video, and these Instagram likes are getting really annoying, and I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been super long. If you want an account review though, I'm gonna ask that you be at maybe a different place. But I'm more than happy to give you an account review, and because I think early game and sort of just showing you a variety of different teams. If you maybe want me to do your Guild War attacks, maybe your Siege War attacks, anything like that. If you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see, please let me know in the comment section below, or you can message me on Discord. You can message me online. I will leave some timestamps though for you guys to go back and look at. Obviously, I didn't do anything with his runes. I just kind of gave you a very slow, well thought out video on where he's at and what he's looking to do, and just kind of a full review. It was slower though, just because I didn't know